Did any of y'all happen to see the show on Thursday?
Yeah. I saw it.
I also saw it.
Yeah.
I had the best seat in the house. Yeah.
You had a throne.
Yeah, I was sitting on my throne.
Yeah.
Well, today, the album came out a few days ago, and we premiered it live on Thursday. And today we're going to kind of walk you all through. We're going to listen to stuff and talk about how it got made, and maybe tell a couple funny stories along the way, and just generally have a ball.
Yeah. So I made a PowerPoint because I can't not be like left to my own devices because I will make a PowerPoint. So I made a PowerPoint.
Tom Paul Moby. Oh, no.
Goodbye, everybody.
Is this
bye.
Tom Paul?
Tom Paul Moby.
All right, so everyone, for the rest
Don't worry. That's not the end of it.
It's on purpose. You'll see.
Don't worry. There's more.
So that's the right wolf, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
great.
there's more. Don't worry.
How evil of you.
Again, nobody supervised me. I made the presentation. I sent it off. Nobody told me notes. So
Actually, I proofread it, and I agreed.
Yeah.
You'll see.
Oh,
You traitor.
also, goes without
You
saying,
traitor.
and I already see people starting to do it. The album is for sale right here on the off chance you have any interest. Feel free to grab a copy if you haven't.
Yeah.
No pressure other than the intense amount that I'm putting on you right now.
So our vocalist Casey is going to be arriving a little bit late. Jess is the patron saint of Jam Clinic here at MAGFest, so I'm assuming at some point Jess will also make her way here, but she is currently running an entire department. So, but for now, this is a huge chunk of us, and then this is our very small guest list.
So
people.
To run down some of the people who are on this list and so on, Johnny Gioeli, that's the lead singer of Crush 40, who sang all of the Sonic Adventure music you all love.
Yeah.
Darren Korb, the composer of Bastion, Hades, Pyre, the audio director of Supergiant Games. He's on our arrangement of Bastion. Donna Burke, who sang amazing songs for Metal Gear Solid and Final Fantasy and so on. She sings on Snake Eater. You may have noticed that there's a tendency and trend, it's kind of part of the spirit of the album, where we collaborated with original composers and artists on the franchises that they were known for. So Johnny, we did something very Sonic-y with him. Darren, we did Bastion with him. Austin Wintory, we did Journey with him. So on and so forth. Shihori, who's on stage with us right now. She's listed as a guest, but she's kind of like a bonus member to a certain extent. Like, we gig with her, and she's just the best. She's an amazing J-pop artist. She's on the album art, so I think she's a member. Laura Entravia, who, if you saw the show, killed it on Snake Eater for us live. She's on the album. I mentioned Austin already. We've got Masahiro Aoki, composer on Mega Man, composer for the Sengoku Basara franchise.
Street Fighter V.
Street Fighter V lead composer. He shreds on Final Fantasy. Shota Nakama, who, if you're going to the Sonic Symphony tonight, he's the director of that. Jun Senoue, the composer or audio director at Sega of a ton of Sonic music. Kevin Brown on drums. Louis Ochoa, who's also playing Sonic Symphony.
Oh, I didn't know Louis was doing Sonic Symphony.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
cool.
killing it.
Sweet.
Rick McLaughlin, who actually taught me music harmony at Berkeley, on bass. Jeff Ball, one of the composers from Steven Universe on violin. Eli Bishop from Videri String Quartet, if you saw them here.
And the world's fastest clapper.
Literally
the Guinness World Record for the world's fastest clapper.
It's crazy.
For a period of time. Okay.
But he could take it back if he wanted to.
Let's not butter him up too much.
Zach Zinger, who also composed on Street Fighter V and on Jump Force and tons of other stuff on saxophone. Also the music supervisor on Elden Ring, random fact.
Oh.
Tiggs, who's in the audience right here,
Hello.
was part of our choir. She sang on a Devin Townsend record, and I can't get over that fact. Dunnery Bond and Bethany Ingram on choir as well. They're singers in Canada.
They're
and
friends
they're
of
friends
ours.
of David and Yusuf,
Yeah.
but they're from a third world country, so we don't.
Thanks for having us here.
Colin McGinnis, who's also a YouTuber, who's a great singer, rounding out our low end. And then finally, we have a song. He's listed as synth, but he also just have a song that was co-written with Stemmage, who is the leader of Metroid Metal, if you know them. he and I co-wrote a very Sonic-y song that you're going to hear that Johnny Gioeli's on, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. So this is our track list. We went through a couple different revisions. There were a few B-side cuts that kind of ended up happening, namely all of the songs that, or a huge chunk of songs that I arranged ended up not being able to make it. But we did play some of them live for you guys the other day. Like Burn My Dread was one of the ones that never made it on the album. But this was kind of our settled set list, and our plan today is to kind of listen to the tracks, talk about them from, all of the arrangers here who worked on them. Mason, primary arranger, myself, Yusuf, and Trevor were arrangers on various different tracks. It'll show up when we get through each one of them, who arranged what, and so on and so forth. But has anybody, just out of curiosity, has anybody heard the album? All right. Oh, did you guys listen to it?
On the way.
Okay, cool.
I have also heard the album.
I think
several times.
I think there's probably, what would you say at this point? You've probably had would you get up to hundreds of hours of sitting through these 12 tracks?
I don't even want to try to do the math on that. It was a lot. But, doing something fun takes effort. And when you have such amazing musicians at your disposal as the fine people here and the amazing guests who joined us, it's all worth it.
But not Casey or Jess. They're not here. So
but not Casey or Jess,
yeah,
no.
They don't
Worst
count.
people I've ever worked with by far. Casey isn't even tall enough to get up on this panel.
It's true.
She's so short.
It's true. So
and I would bully her if she was here too. I want to be clear. So yeah, let's take a moment. Let's listen to the first tune.
So this was our lead single, right?
And yeah, we'll listen to it and I'll make some comments.
Yeah.
This song actually predates the album slightly, and it's what gave me the idea to do it in the first place. Because we did this collaboration with Donna Burke, and I didn't immediately put it out, and I was just like, hold on. Maybe there's something here. Maybe we need to finally do an album. And this was around when we began talking with the label that ultimately put the album out about, hey, what if we did an album of BGM music and arrangements kind of doing our house thing, featuring love that organ slide.
One strike just to think that I'm out of his field of vision. Don't ask why I'm ready, but I'm ready to strike him down now. A chance at a new start. There's no time for indecision.
I feel like a signature part of my sound at this point. I can only use 2 of them for both. Their show and my show, I can only use 2 tracks. There wasn't enough room. So it's really cool colors and textures that change up the mood.
Second half of this course, it's a straight scale stepwise motion because I wanted to see if I could do it.
Remind us what we're here for. Creating life, creating rivers in the desert.
There are actually 2 keyboard parts going on here right now. The live piano and the Rhodes from the original demo. I have both of them in, with the Rhodes being a shadow.
Fresh heart of mine. Can I find some time in
asked Jess to just go in, and this is what she did. David on solo.
Yay, fun.
So, a little bit more history on that song in particular. The arrangement idea actually predated getting Donna and the idea to do it by a lot longer than I think some of the band realizes. The initial riff, where I got all the way through to the start of the chorus or so, I did that 2 years before we contacted Donna about actually doing it. And this sat in my back catalog as oh, maybe there's something here, but I don't know. I'll get to it sometime.
You showed it to me at your place a week or two after you did it. You're like, how's this?
Yeah.
I remember that.
And even back then, I was the loose idea when I first started, I was it would be kind of cool to do Rivers in the Desert in kind of a Stevie Wondery kind of funk fusion-y kind of thing going on. I think that would be cool. I love the original song, but it's very straight and strict and metered and the rest of the soundtrack of Persona 5 has so much soul going on that I was what if that song also had that kind of vibe? And that's where we got Rivers in the Desert. So next up, we have Chrono Trigger.
Yeah.
And the main theme on this one, this is, as far as I'm aware, the only post-rock pop-punk disco fusion arrangement of Chrono Trigger ever made.
Can you say that all one more time for us?
No.
Post-rock, pop, funk.
Bless you.
Punk, funk, disco fusion. I think we can just call it P-Funk for short. It's definitely not a thing that already exists. It features a lot of really amazing players, Jeff Ball on violin, Luis Ochoa on bass, and the entire bass part is just such a monster. It's it's hyper slap heavy, which is why I had Charlie Rosen come and do it live, because I was I'm not learning that bass part again. I love myself too much. So let's check out the opening solo from Dom Palmobi.
Palmobi.
Bruh. like those drummers around here.
4 cowbell hits. It's my favorite part.
Everything he does sounds just good. It's insane. On the violin solo, he actually keeps sliding up there for like another measure, and I just baited him out because he just thought it was funny to be like, "I'm just gonna keep going."
Also, then there's this.
Lewis goes in. Still clapping.
This doesn't even sound real. This sounds like somebody on a keyboard going.
You can play live. That's how good it is.
There's Phil right here.
Heck
So, yeah. I went, so I flew to LA for Mason's wedding, and I was there for like a little chunk of time, and this was right in the window where we were like starting to record kind of the production for the album. And he was like, this is where you're going to solo in Chrono Trigger. And I was like, all right, well, let me just play over it for a second. And we pressed record. I played most of that. We did like 1 or 2 backs and forths, and then I completely forgot about it for the next year.
And we never re-recorded it.
And
So I was
never
like, yeah, no, that's actually the take. We don't even need to do it again.
Thought about it.
We had made, we literally, because I remember looking at the clock, we did the entire thing for his solo in like 8 or 9 minutes.
Yeah, that was fun. That was good. So next up is the first Final Fantasy song that I was given, because you should stop giving me Final Fantasy songs to do.
He has an entire album of Final Fantasy arrangements, by the way. For anyone who doesn't know, it's incredible. You should check it out. Lux in Tenebris. It's under his artist name is David McLean, or David Gibson McLean.
Yeah.
But also, like, oh my god.
But they once again I ended up doing another Final Fantasy song. So we did Cinco de Chocobo, and then after I did the arrangement, I realized that the worst possible thing that could happen to this song was me play on it. So I just let them do the thing that they're better at. So this was the idea of what if the Chocobo theme was take 5. That was the joke, ultimately.
And to clarify, when you hear the weird chords, those were my contribution.
Yes. Yeah. I sent Trevor the chart, and I was like, hey, Trevor, is
I
there
weirdified it.
Yeah, I was like, is there anything you want to do for this? And he was like, yes. And then we got this out of it. take that Dom did. We did like 5 or 6 takes after that, and we were just kind of like, nah, the first one was just kind of perfect. We don't need the insurance.
Sometimes it be like that. First take feels the best.
I love that line.
I think he actually shouted live on stage when we were doing it so that we would hear the hit.
I mean, I do that because, like, that's my job.
Also, here's the chords.
This is my contribution.
When I got the chart for that last part, it's unreadable. They don't make any sense. They're just random chords in the best way.
Yeah.
So that's actually the first song that I wanted to mention about how we recorded the album, which is when we were conceiving of this, you know, one of the things that was kind of challenging or worrying or made me nervous, at least as like the album's producer, was all of us are talented players. We've all done this stuff. We've been recording together for years, but we'd never actually recorded live together before. We'd never been in a studio together, and we'd never done a gig together. Like, we literally never... Like, I knew that we all got along well because we'd all, like, Zoomed and things like that, but, like, we'd never actually played tight live in a room. So I was like, I don't know if we can do it. I don't know if we've got the chops or not. So in order to guarantee that no matter what we would get it, I actually produced the entire album in advance before we even recorded a single thing. Every single track has a demo that was of quality standard that we could have released it if we could not record something. That way, we had the world's safest, like, we're going into studio, we are essentially replacing the parts as we go.
That was a great idea for the record. Like that, it took so much pressure off of us when we went to the studio.
And we had things that went wrong, and it was like, oh, we have, you know, the original drums that got
Or not even just things that went wrong, but like there's some keyboard parts where like, you know, we'd play it on the piano there and it's like, you know, what I did at home works better. Like the sounds work better, so let's use that time for something else.
Exactly. And, you know, there are a lot of things that we recorded live, and there are certain songs we'll get into that were recorded live in one take without click, like really like the traditional way that you do this stuff.
Speaking of.
Which... let's go ahead and visit Beneath the Mask, which, by the way, for those of you who don't know, is actually the song that brought this band together in the first place back in 2018.
That's not true. Nope,
It is actually true, yes. Here's the thing where you're wrong. The first thing we did that released... Tell me about when I started this group.
No, I looked this up the other day.
Let him say it first and then let's...
No, I already know what you're going to say.
Okay,
You're going to say the Kingdom Hearts 3 one that we did in 24 hours was the first one we released. However, it's not the first one we started on.
I didn't say that was the first one we released.
The first song that we put music production on, the thing that literally started the group, because me and Don Bennett were like, oh, we should cover something together, was Beneath the Mask. And I began working on this before actually getting the group together. And that original recording predated 1 or 2 members because at that point, Trevor couldn't record on the first song because it was too fast of a turnaround. He wasn't available. So actually, yes, Beneath the Mask was the very first thing we technically did.
That's what I told you, but...
You just didn't like it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
so...
you can... I have food. I have not eaten yet today.
Oh my God, you got a food delivery.
And Emily is a saint. Wait, what?
Is all of that for you?
I mean, I think it's just a large bag.
Did you bring enough to share with the class?
No, I did not.
How dare you? You brought us all here together, and now you're just going to eat
It
in
is a
front of
very
us.
large bag for a smaller bag.
Can I have the bag?
Yeah.
Thank you.
What were you going to say is the first one, David?
Oh, I was going to say, I went back and looked the other day, and actually, the post you made that brought us all together was asking about the Kingdom Hearts song, not Beneath the Mask, because I went back and looked at that post because I knew that this would happen.
The thing is, that is indeed the first post that I made mentioning it. However, the music production for the original Beneath the Mask predates even that post.
Boo.
And in fact, if you were to go back and look at it, because I can call this, there is a video of me like in studio recording it and showing a clip from my Logic session that predates even that post. That was also on social media, so ha!
You're watching us break up in real time.
We're gonna.
Anyways,
Do I need to just hit the space bar and end this?
Yeah, here's Beneath the Mask.
There we go. Oh, the actual important fact about this is that it was a single take live in the studio. They didn't tell you the.
We did 2 takes of it. This was the first take. We did the second one for safety. This was just the first thing we tracked.
And no
click, nothing.
Where have you been? Been searching all alone, facing twilight on and on, without a clue, without a sign, without grasping yet the real question to be asked: where have I been? I'm a shapeshifter that pose masquerade, hiding both face and mind, free for you to draw. I'm a shapeshifter. What else should I be? Please don't take off my mask. Feeling dark. Moments of calm, nothing left to be found. When you're right in front of me, that's where I found an empty glass, reflecting the sad truth that's telling words not to be told. I need the mask. I'm a shapeshifter that pose masquerade, hiding both face and mind, all free for you to draw. I'm a shapeshifter, chained down to my core. Please don't take off my mask, my place to hide. I can't tell you how to see me, just a cage of bones. There's nothing inside. Will it unleash me, burning down the walls? Is there for me to break? I'm a shapeshifter.
And just on time, Casey Williams.
That pose masquerade, hiding both face and
you planned that.
or free for you to draw. 'Cause I'm a shapeshifter. I have no face to show. Please don't take off my mask, my
Beneath the Mask, everyone.
Yeah.
So, some additional history and a little bit of behind the scenes on this particular tune. Two things. One, there is actually some uncredited guitar on this song. I played guitar live in the room on DI when we were in session because Yusuf was in Canada.
And you royally screwed up.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
the
yeah, there
worst.
were a couple of funny ones I screwed up.
You
But
had
no,
one
actually,
job and like annihilated that opening.
in my defense, one take I did screw up the opening hilariously. It was very funny.
Do you have the file of
But then
that?
we just
Yeah,
made sure.
we left it in until like it came to actual mixes.
Well,
It
no,
was pretty great.
what I was going to say is it's actually in the final recording because the opening of the song I play guitar on, and we wide pan stereo guitars for that, and then the rest of the song is just Yusuf. And Yusuf had a really funny challenge, which is we recorded a song without click, and he has to record remotely to it. And it's like, well, I hope our rhythm was tight because he can't, you know.
But we have
slot-
Dom freaking Palombi, so of
Yeah.
course.
Paul
Excuse me, Paul
Moby.
Moby.
Yeah,
so
Dom Paul
Of course,
Moby.
our rhythm
Get
is
out
tight.
of here.
The original. One second.
Catching the pickup was hard, though, at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The original arrangement of Beneath the Mask we did was actually, we won a gang award for it back in 2018 for Best Game Music Remix, which was really cool as like kind of starting the group off on like a really nice foot and fun thing. And so we wanted to revisit that arrangement. Unfortunately, we couldn't get Don Bennett to come back for that particular arrangement, which is on me because I just didn't have the logistical capacity to make it work. And Casey very, very ably stepped up and, you know, not to compare singers because they're totally different takes on it, but this is my personal favorite version of this tune that we've ever done. And it was so magical being in the room with the full band going live, playing it on the spot, Casey in the room in the vocal booth, singing it all one take, to everyone just doing the thing and just meshing like that. And that was kind of the first moment that for me, I was like, okay, I think we have something.
Honestly,
That'd be
like
really
that's
special.
crazy. For those of you who don't know, like for a take that's live and just everybody in the room to be on par with the rest of the album, that's bonkers. Like that doesn't normally happen. So that was like a little studio magic.
The
kinda.
magic, the magic of that is capturing, you know, the feelings that we were having in the rooms, sharing that moment. Like recordings are usually that. Sometimes when we do remote recorded projects, you can't recreate those in-person feelings or the connections that when, you know, for me, I'm in a drum booth and there's like glass windows that I can only see so many of the other bandmates in. So to have visual eye contact with people whilst playing in those moments is a uniquely different feeling compared to listening to it in my headphones and looking at a computer screen to a DAW or something like that.
Sure wish I could have been there.
Yeah.
I missed it all. I was dying in a hotel room in Boston that day. I missed you guys.
You had a hell of a time during like that entire week.
That was a crazy time.
Yeah, I want to just piggyback off of what they said about that. Funny enough, like a lot of us went to Berklee School or College of Music, and
I didn't.
well, a lot of us, not all of us,
No.
and clearly you're better than like half of the drummers that go to Berklee. But anyway, like it's a jazz school, and like technically you see a lot of the time people doing stuff like that, like live sessions and arrangements that are very jazzy like this. And I didn't do a whole lot of that when I was at that school, so this was like a little, I don't know, it felt like such a prize and like such a treasure to get to do something like that, and it was for video game music and some of the coolest video game music that there is. and yeah, doing it live and being able to be in a booth but see like most of the band while recording it, it was just very like, I don't know, it was almost like a trance. It was very nice, and I was so happy with how it came
Casey
out.
freaking Williams.
Yeah.
I don't get to sing like jazzy, like chill stuff ever, and I really like to do that. So this was so fun. This was so cool.
So this next one was also kind of challenging to record in some respects. Nascence from Journey, the main theme. I feel like no one ever covers it because it's not like it doesn't have like a repeating form. It's just a once trailer thing. Austin Wintory plays the accordion on it, and it gives it this cool French thing. I don't know. Let's play the record. That's Casey's voice, by the way.
And that's the end of Casey's voice,
That's
by
my
the way,
big
for the rest of the
feature.
song.
That's all she does on the
That's
track.
all she does.
Yes, this sounds incredible. So I will say, this is a great tune to mention about the mix on the album. 4 of the tunes were mixed by the amazing John Kurlander, who, amongst other things, mixed and mastered The Lord of the Rings and most of the Disney Golden Era movies. And like, he started his career mixing the Beatles and Abbey Road. Like, he's been doing this for like 50 plus years, and he's an absolute icon and legend. So, getting him to do this stuff was so cool, and he was so accommodating and nice, and he worked with us for a very generous discount on what his normal rate is compared to what I've hired him elsewhere, because he knew what we were doing and he supported it.
So it was only $5 million because of the discount.
It was 5 bajillion Dom Palombucks.
Are those on the blockchain?
Bruh.
I just vomited blood a little bit. And then this right here is actually an interpolation of the apotheosis theme. Secretly. Yeah. I didn't tell you because they wouldn't have cleared the license otherwise. Thanks, Materia. I've been holding this as a bomb to destroy the label once and for all. Finally. Austin Wintory gonna walk out with a sniper rifle and take us all out one by one.
He's your friend. He'll
Yeah. He
That
and
was
I-
like
we
5
were-
things in a row that you shouldn't have said.
I think we're fine.
You're going for the record.
Is it even a good
It's all
panel?
right. It's
if
okay.
you're
I
not
already
saying
got
stuff
paid
you
for the
shouldn't
record. We're
say?
good to go, guys.
Austin's not gonna get angry.
No, he's really not. Like, he's the one who pointed it out once when I first showed him things. He's like, oh, yeah. And I was like, oh, I thought that was in the original track, too. Oops.
So I'll just clarify that what Mason's talking about is the fact that, if I'm not mistaken, you can't use like multiple tracks in the same track.
Yeah,
right?
but We did get permission.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like from a licensing standpoint, typically you can't
I make
combine.
the joke about it, but you know, we can go on to the next one. Snake Eater.
I did this.
This is.
I also did this.
Well, I mean, I arranged it.
You did.
Yeah, I arranged
didn't do
it.
that.
No, you didn't do that.
You all did it.
So
we all did it, though.
The process on this one was Trevor arranged Snake Eater for piano and vocal. And then I did some additional arrangement of band on top of that. And when all is said and done, Donna Burke then recorded remotely for us from Tokyo after the band had recorded in Boston together.
And accidentally started a rumor on the internet that Mason was remaking Metal Gear Solid 3.
That may have been a news cycle for a little bit. Because Donna posted a picture from the studio with the lyrics to Snake Eater on a stand.
That's good.
While working on something with a somewhat active video game AAA audio director, and while using the recording engineer, who it turns out she didn't tell me this, is the guy who records her for Konami. So, oops. You know, mistakes were made.
You're gesturing at me.
Is there anything you want to say?
Oh, yeah. Should I say things?
If you want to.
About my arrangement?
Throw it on and we'll...
Yeah, well, so Snake Eater, it's a Bond song, right? I mean, for those of you who've heard it, it's just a straight-up Bond song. So I kind of leaned more into, like, the low-key, intimate side of Bond songs more than, like, you know, normally it's pretty big and bombastic. So it ends up with, like, a bit of a lounge jazz feel to it, but still with, like, some energy. So, yeah. And I liked the addition of bass and drums. That ended up being a good call. And Dom was really creative with what he did. We experimented a lot in the studio and got
It was a lot of...
I liked Rick's bass so much,
yeah,
too.
Rick was amazing.
Like, the arrangement, fundamentally, to be clear, was Trevor's arrangement. And then this is just kind of part of the production process of how you get the right thing out of it. Because I knew that I'd always wanted it to be a band arrangement, but I wanted it to be something where Trevor was arranging it so that it was always fundamentally about the piano and the voice.
It also unironically features what I consider to be the heaviest moment on the album. And there's
It
a
was
song,
the heaviest
and there's,
moment
And there's a
live.
song in Drop A on this album for you guitar people out there. It also makes me think of the 20th Century Fox theme at the start every time. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
That's a good thing.
It's funny. Or Searchlight, I forget what it is.
And I will say, this opening was actually the closest I came to keeping the piano from the demo for something, because the way you did it on the demo was so perfect that I kept going back and forth. I'm like, which of these is better? Oh, but I don't want to change piano tones. Oh, God. Oh, God.
It would have been too weird.
It was... they're both absolutely spectacular. It wasn't a case of one being better than the other. It was just a different take of the same idea. And I was like, oh, man, I can't tell which one it needs to be. But I think it was the right decision.
What a thrill with darkness and silence through the night. What a thrill. I'm searching and I'm melting to you.
Donna and I actually did the session for
What
both.
a
I
thrill in my
Zoomed in or
heart.
whatever in real time during the session so I could direct it. And we did the entire song in like 45 minutes.
I'd give my life.
This is just what she sounds like.
Not for honor.
But you had a clear idea on what you wanted me to do specifically, especially with the kind of groove.
And we did have a demo vocal we'd done with her before that point, but like the actual final recording, live in the studio, in and out, underneath.
Like if you're listening closely, I'm actually using brushes, but I'm using the butt ends, which have like metallic handles. And against the cymbals, it creates these like really cool sparkly tones. With, like the hi-hat as the backbeat.
I'm still in a dream. Snake
Just tickling the cymbals.
I always really liked the bass part right here, just this pedal.
Okay. This is so heavy, and I
Jazz,
love
jazz.
every bit of it.
You're welcome.
This was all Trevor.
Someday you go through the rain, and someday you ordeal, the trial to survive. For the day we see you live, give my life, not for honor, but for you. In my time, there'll be no one else. It's the way I fly to you. I'm still in a dream, snake eater.
It's supposed to repeat, I'm still in a dream, but she didn't do that. Just such a cool arrangement. And I will say, there was a brief period where we were worried we weren't going to get to have Donna, that just logistically it wasn't going to work out. So while we were in studio, we actually recorded an alternate version with Casey on the lead vocals, which also sounded really sick. But of course, we ended up getting Donna, and so I fired Casey very aggressively, very rudely.
But for $45.99, you can pay me to show you that version.
And I get a cut too, obviously.
Maybe a special edition someday.
Okay, I want to just clarify. Dom wants to say something, and he got interrupted like 5 times, and so help me, if he doesn't get to say whatever it was, I'm going to flip the table. So, Dom, I'm setting you up, man. You knock it down. I don't know what you wanted to say, though.
I lost my train of thought earlier. Because I was getting interrupted.
Great, next song.
That was so much build-up.
It was so big of a serve, he didn't know what to say after that.
We have 40 minutes to make it through.
What
the
am
other
I
half
supposed
of
to
the
say
album.
after that? No, that was really fun to record, and it's such a unique, different take on just a classic tune like that. But also, I also had the fortunate pleasure to actually work with Donna before I knew Mason a long time ago. I had played with Patrick Bartley's J Music Ensemble,
And that was technically my fault too, because I'm actually the one who introduced Donna and Pat together and told them they needed to do a gig together.
We did a gig a long time ago in New York City, and it was the first time I met Patrick and played with his ensemble, a bunch of J-pop stuff, and Donna came from Tokyo to New York City for a one-of-a-kind show where we played a lot of arrangements of stuff like this from Metal Gear Solid and other anime things, so that was cool.
And now for something completely different.
Who's on drums on this? Wait, Kevin's name is not misspelled.
Kevin's my old roommate. Trivia, fun trivia. He's from California. We live here. So we mentioned earlier about Masahiro Aoki being the lead guitar player in most of Street Fighter. I did this arrangement and then basically sent it to him and I was like, "Be free, my son. Or you may shred." Basically, it was sort of, I asked myself the same question that I ask myself every time, is what happens if Periphery made a Final Fantasy song? Yeah, that guy gets it. Yeah. So we have to mosey a little bit here.
Let's just go into it. This is the original.
It's an original. By Mason.
It's, yeah.
Me and Steph. Johnny came to the studio and
never seen a day that's gonna hit you quite like this. A blurry motion and a sudden vividness. The world can stop on a dime and you find if you try to climb, you're gonna unwind. Leaves are frozen in time, it's a crime that your life can seem to make up its mind. So I will not hesitate to demonstrate my purpose here is clear. When if you lost your way, you know that I'm a few steps down the road.
It sounds so good, it literally sounds like from the Sonic. Like, I think of the Sonic when I listen to it.
Fun fact, the original vocal on this one was before we recorded I've always wildly preferred Stevens actually says he preferred mine. They're very different.
I'm the one you're searching for, and I was made to open up this door. So when you find your way, you know that I'm a few steps down the road. I'm on a mission, and it's time to start the show.
Jim sent away on the guitar solo.
Thank you for not making me learn this solo for the show. I appreciate it.
And it modulates down a step here. Because I couldn't help but step the original. We were like sound problems. That guys turned out done. And then we go off the step here.
I really like how it's used. I really like how it's changing the keys so frequently. It's a really smooth blend between. That's tonic.
The first take he did, he was like, I'm living that. And that was it. And I was like, can I get a little longer on that last limited list there? And then he did that for like 25 seconds straight.
It's like a Chester Bennington
Ow.
scream.
Yeah. How? The man's just built different.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was Limitless.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so this is Setting Sail, Coming Home. This is a song by Darren Korb of Hades fame. And I arranged this one. In arranging this, I just wanted to do something that sounded nothing like what we had done previously. Originally, it was just going to be for Casey on vocals, but a little bit into the production, Mason surprised me. He'd asked Darren, and he agreed to sing on it. So this was really special for a lot of us. And we also had an orchestra do the strings on that. So yeah, this was an amazing production, and it just sounds kind of new for us. So yeah, let's listen to it.
actually have to know someone to be able to like reach them and do the thing. It's like, well, why didn't you try to track her down? And I'm like, I mean, Casey sounded pretty good to me. Like, what are you talking about? Obviously, they sound so similar stylistically. Like, so good.
I actually wrote that for her.
There used to be horror strings over the end of that I really missed, the like creeping up. I liked those, but
Sorry, I took them out. No, that guitar solo section, all the harmony, that doesn't exist in the song. I just needed to make it longer, so I done did it. Speaking of that, I also did that on this song.
Banger.
What?
Banger.
Yeah, this song is a banger. This song is a banger, really close to my heart. I used to play this a lot when I was a kid. So, what was I going to say about this? Mason asked me to write Sticker Bush Symphony in the style of an anime OP, and I did. But the entire time throughout production, we were calling it Sticker Brush Symphony.
we didn't know the name of the song apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
It got literally, I think, until the licensing stage where someone was like, hey, you do know that it's Sticker Bush,
I literally
right?
think that Materia, or like, it was at that stage that someone pointed out, like, oh, by the way, all of your files say Sticker Brush. Don't you mean Sticker Bush? And I was like, yeah. Sure. Yeah, guys, you must have misspelled it this whole time. We just, delivered.
And now we have Sticker Brush Symphony featuring Dom Paul Moby on the drums.
Except he's not on the song.
He's not actually on this.
no, but this is featuring the incredible Eli Bishop, who is a
Bishop on
violin virtuoso.
Yeah.
now the whale call portion of the album.
It's just Star Trek 4. One person's gonna get that joke.
Fun fact, we went to SeaWorld to record actual whales for this track.
And most of them were kind of angry we didn't want them on the jazz too.
Yeah.
But we were clear. We were like, we got a vision. This slow build is so Also, the MIDI strings are the only MIDI on the album all said and done. Because we couldn't record we didn't have enough time to record.
One of my favorite parts of the album, right here.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's math rock as
Yeah.
hell.
It's so mappy. I'm just gonna point this in this direction. For
Nice job, Yusuf. I hadn't actually listened to that yet. It's very nice.
Wait, what?
Arranger? Performer? Oh, of course. It could only be one person. Stop it. The one. How long does this go on?
Dom Pal
Is it
Moby.
going to be a picture of me? What?
Don Palmobi.
Wait, this
can't
is
even
taking
see it
way
yet because
too
it's so
long. You can barely see it.
Oh, it's so slow.
We literally, when we were talking about this, I was like, make it a 10-second
This is,
fade in.
wait, is there more?
Okay, so it was on purpose.
Anyways,
hi,
that's
I'm-
Zelda's Lullaby. We can go on to the next one.
I'm Tever, and this one we kind of just did like spur of the moment in the studio because there was like a little flexibility about the track list. And when we were there in Boston, I was just kind of screwing around with Zelda's Lullaby on the piano because I love playing pianos that I haven't before, and they had a really nice one there at the studio. Was it a Yamaha? It was a Yamaha Grand.
Yeah.
And I just started messing with it, and we got to chatting in the hallway, and we were like, okay, what if I just did that for the album? So we did a couple takes, and this is just sort of what happened. It's
This
jazz.
was literally I told the rest of the band, I was like, we need to go grab food.
Yeah, it was
Trevor,
lunch break, and we abandoned
you have
Trevor.
Time to
This
probably
was
do
me
2 or
giving
3
them a
takes.
break, and it became a track on the album.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. You have time for 2 or 3 takes for us to do Zelda's Lullaby. We're going to go to Panera Bread.
And it's a nice
We'll get you
breather
something.
before the rest of the album. So, yeah.
This made me cry the other day. I'm for real. It's so good.
Good night, everybody. It's bedtime.
Anyways, that was the track.
I feel like I'm at a steakhouse.
I don't know if that's a compliment.
Yes, it is.
It's like 50-50.
Oh, true.
I will say this is actually one of the tracks that I really debated on putting on because this inspired us to record another instrumental solo track, which was a 5.5-minute long drum solo of Dom improvising on Megalovania. And I was like, which of these belongs on a vinyl record?
I'm going to be real, you made the right choice.
I don't
I'm
think
biased,
I did, to be honest. I'm pretty sure I made the wrong choice, but that's okay. We did release Drumalovania, as we called it.
On April Fool's Day.
On April Fool's Day, because we thought that shit was
that
funny as
album
hell.
cover was ridiculous.
Which was while we were in studio, actually. We literally just put it out, like, the next day.
This is my favorite.
Trevor does a little stride thing. Listen closely. Trevor misses a note in a moment.
That's not a thing in jazz. It's jazz.
Come on, Trevor.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Come on.
Let me toot this guy's horn real quick. I'm tooting your horn real quick because
shucks.
I actually first discovered this guy on Twitch like over 5 years ago, and this was like early in my VGM days. One of my favorite pianists, why he also played with my band earlier, which he did a kick-ass job.
That was an amazing concert. Dom just annihilated it. Yeah.
Great job, Dom.
Yeah. I hope some of you got to see that.
But the thing I like about this recording so much is he's just going different directions and taking you on a really cool journey. And it's just a nice ride. And it's like,
Thanks, man.
Your personality's coming out of it, too.
And yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, I hesitate to even call this a tournament dark song, because if you listen to Trevor's piano solo work, like, this is classic Trevor doing what he does best, which is adventurous harmonic explorations with really, really complicated resolutions and just beautiful, sensitive tonality.
You guys are getting me all like choked up.
Follow him on Twitch. It's great.
Follow him on Twitch. And I will say,
I don't
I
stream
also
as
was a big
much
fan
these
of his
days.
Twitch before we got to know each other, and that's how we connected.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, yeah, I first got to know Mason because of Trevor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
On Twitch.
Everybody meets because of me, and then I don't meet them. Like, I don't meet those people.
But we did.
All right, let's go to that last song. enough, Trevor. We don't need more of him.
All right, so now, last song on the album is this Gesamtkunstwerk of things. So I wanted to do something for the, like, I wanted to do something with this tune since I heard it the very first time, so I made a version of it that was just based off the original. And then I remember asking, I was like, Mason, do we know anybody who would sing like the Japanese vocals? And then we had Shihori, who came in and saved the day. And then I got greedy and was like, hey, Mason, do you know anybody who can sing in gibberish?
And I was like, Laura and Travia for sure.
Gibberish.
She's in Disco Cactus. She'll do it.
And then it became asking everybody that I knew who would be willing to contribute vocals to a choir at the end, because all of a sudden it just became ridiculous. But I want to point out something very specific is our mix engineer sang in the choir. His wife sang in the choir. And then right at the very end, we see Nova, his five-year-old daughter, sang in the choir
I didn't know
as
that.
well.
That's
right.
Yeah.
David Gibson McLean broke international labor law, shut him down. He employs child workers.
This isn't being broadcast, right?
Yeah, I've just been dropping all the bombs for materia. By the way, there was child labor on this album.
But no, I have to thank a lot of the people who came in.
Plug your ears, Jamie. Plug your ears.
Just don't listen, Jamie.
Yes. But like my friends Dunnery and Bethany came in to help. Tiggs came in to help. And then we needed some low end, so we got Colm to come in to help. So yeah, this is Weight of the World, End of Yorha in all of its preposterousness.
It's also worth noting, this wasn't on the original album plan because we had a different song planned for the final song. A song which was just about fully produced, nearly complete. But for reasons that I can't get into, we weren't allowed to include it on the album. Nothing bad, all positive stuff, all considered. But because of that, there was a space for a big finale number. Up comes Drop A.
When this time comes to a halt, silence starts to overflow. My cries are inconspicuous. Tell me, God, are you punishing me? Is this the price I'm paying for my past mistakes? This is my redemption song. I need you more than ever right now. Can you hear me now? 'Cause we're gonna shout it loud. Even if our words seem meaningless, it's like I'm carrying the weight of the world. I'll whisper some way somehow that I can save every one of us. But the truth is that I'm only one girl. Maybe if I keep believing, my dreams will come to life. Come to life.
The only soprano sax on the album, right there.
Jess's Kenny G moment. In the good way.
Backing
vocals. Classic Shihori doing Shihori. That'll kind of come out. Shout out to your people. I want to mention for a second here really quick, Shihori sent me backing vocals for this next part, was just like, use these if you want. And I was like, oh, I will be using these.
So good.
5-year-old just killing it in there.
That's that low voice.
Yeah.
So, that's the album, everyone.
Yeah.
We've got like 5 minutes before we have to pee. So if anyone has any questions, sure, let's
Probably
do that.
take 2.
We literally,
Yeah.
hit it.
Yeah, just go up the mic.
Go for it. Go
No,
for it.
you
Yeah,
got
go
it,
for
yeah.
Go for it.
You may need to turn it on. I'm not sure. Try it out.
It should be on.
We're right here.
It's on.
Hey,
It's on.
sick. Yeah.
Is Zinger really his last name?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Is what? Who's Zinger? Oh, Zinger.
Oh, yeah, no, his parents just named him as a jazz icon. They were like, we know what you're going to do.
That was a zinger of a question right there.
Hi. I have a question for Devin Fender McLaren over
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you remember this, but 3 years ago, I was actually in one of your streams. And so I gifted you 5 subs for you to show feet pics and a money match on Destiny.
Yeah.
I remember that. I was there, yeah.
So I don't know if you remember this specifically. I actually beat you in a game of Gambit.
Yeah.
And you said that because I won, that I get to pick a song that you get to do for your band. And
Sit down.
But David, to be clear,
Next.
As the band director, I do apologize profusely for this failure. He will be sending feet pics immediately.
Next real question.
Real
please.
question.
And it'll be both feet. Full,
So this is basically I was looking at the guest list. As professional musicians, I was just sort of wondering, what do you think the optimal amount of trombones per song is?
I said next real question. Oh my god.
At least one.
Optimal amount of trombones.
Guys,
vouch,
I
at
think
least
that we
one.
might have been memeing hard enough that we're getting memed back.
Well, that's all the
7.
time we have, folks. Thank you.
You
very
meme
much.
into the void,
It's
the
7.
void
It's
memes
7
back.
trombones.
Yeah, it's 7.
Next question.
Yeah.
But actual question, fantastic concert on Thursday.
Thank you.
I didn't catch it live. What was the name of the trumpeter?
The trumpet player was John Robert Matson. He's right there.
Right there.
Yeah.
In the poncho, everyone.
Absolute boss.
Yeah.
Great question.
I did, though. Thank you.
I think my wrestling question is, of the B-side tracks, the ones that like didn't quite make it onto the album, what is like the top one you would have wanted in?
We can say.
I can't say what
Literally
it is.
can't
because-
say, actually.
Yeah.
What's the one after that?
The
then?
one that I wish we could have done, and we couldn't do it because it was a legal thing, was Burn My Dread. And the reason why is because Burn My Dread, we have a sick version. It was on the show that's like very Rage Against the Machine-y, and Substantial does an original verse for it, or a couple of verses for it, and it's sick. But by having original lyrics, that makes it a derivative work, which means that it needs actual permission from the original game publisher and not compulsory licensing.
Well, next time.
Duly noted.
Next time.
album. All right, you guys, awesome. Rock on.
Thanks, man. Great question.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for coming to MAGFest. I did see you guys on Thursday, and everything was amazing. And I was pretty much going to ask that exact same question, so I'll just compliment you instead. So I'm also sad that Burn My Dread can't be on a B-sides compilation or whatever yet, because that's a very nostalgic
Some
song
version
for me.
of it will probably come out someday.
It was
how
so
if
good.
we can figure
So,
out
I mean,
the
everything was
licensing, we
great,
would.
but that was really awesome to see live.
Thank you,
So,
thank you.
Hey everyone, just want to say the concert Thursday was amazing. Another question for David, harking back to his, that
Nope,
same stream
get out.
3 years
You're
ago,
done.
you
You're
promised
done.
No, I'm pretty
You're
sure.
done.
David, we have to listen to the people.
No, we don't. Nope. No.
All right, thanks for coming.
That is essentially all the
Thank
time
you,
we
everyone.
have, everybody. If anybody wants to hang out after, we'll be outside.